getting older and starting to talk. Now my mom's got sick and she can't walk. No high school diploma.
Global conflict and instability pushing more investors into perceived safer real estate markets. The president and CEO of Thor Equities, it is a real estate investment firm, manages $10 billion in a global portfolio. Joe Sitt, he is with me now. So Joe, great to see you back. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
So are you seeing increased demand from investors for real estate assets?
Yes, very much so. It's probably a combination of two things. One is just today's macroeconomic picture. Interest rates are cheap, so the alternative returns stink and makes really cheap mortgage.
Anybody who has a lot of bonds knows that. That's why we talk about savers being punished. So real estate has attracted more interest.
Most definitely, and it's healthy. Right now, very low supply in the marketplace. Debt levels are very, very low as compared to their historical norms. So it makes it a really nice place, a nice safe haven to keep your money. And then secondly, this business is picking up, so the fundamentals are starting to pick up. So people view it as a place that I won't just buy today's return, I'll buy growth.
So when you talk about the demand that you're seeing from investors, is it for commercial? Is it for residential? Is it a mix?
It's probably more geographic oriented. Two concepts going on. One, the safe haven and unrest in so many parts of the world. Will Pakistan and India fight? Will the Middle East conflict spread beyond the 5 countries fighting today? Will Russia try something new and more aggressive? So it's more Western, meaning Western Europe and the United States focused. And then the second thing I'd say is a mega trend that we at Thor have been investing with high net worth individuals and institutions for 30 years is the urban space. The millennials are really taking our business model of focusing on the cities to the next level. It's like a snowball. Every young kid wants to live in New York, San Francisco, Chicago,
They
London.
want to walk and bike. They don't want to drive so much.
Right. Live, work, play, and shop all in the same place. So that's creating a lot of not just demand for people to want to be there, but people as well who want to invest there for the first time.
So with that in mind, I am assuming you are seeing a lot of price support then in San Francisco or Chicago or New York. Are those 3 of the hotter areas in the U.S.?
Yes, I would also say in Miami. Today's market, as you and I were, you said just before the air, and I often say sometimes there's time to buy markets and sometimes there's time to buy buildings. Right now is a day where you want to be buying buildings. You want to look at specific investments, or for people that aren't as sophisticated, self-serving when I say this, but you want to bet on good jockeys, not try to bet the horses.
So just extrapolating, it means that if you're just going to buy the market, you missed it because the prices have gone up enough where you actually have to be a picker and, as you just rightly point out, pick specific buildings or areas.
Or more importantly, like most folks don't have the sophisticated to do that, find somebody like a Thor Equities, like ourselves, that you believe in, that you say, I'm going to bet on that jockey, and I'll bet that he'll find the right horse, that he's a good guy, and he's got the ability to pick between the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So people still need to know, even if they trust you, as they should, they still need to ask you good questions. What's the best question that a prospective investor can ask you right now?
Most questions that I've respected have probably hovered around my track record. You know, when people ask me, somebody says, I've got $100,000 to invest, or I've got $20 million to invest, and I see that you've got a presence in London or Paris or New York, and do me a favor, show me your track record. How have you performed? And that's something obviously we're proud of. But I would say that's number one, and number two would be references. You know, talk to other people that have invested with the person, how they've been comfortable with them, as their transparency, have they been willing to answer any and all questions, and make somebody feel like they're not just an investor, but they're a partner. That's probably the biggest thing that if I was a person watching the show and wanted to invest with companies like Thor, that I'd be asking.
All right, well, thank you very much. We appreciate you sharing your expertise. Joe Sitt joining me there, Thor Equities President and CEO.